If you ran a classical software development agency, you might have seen that the revenue declines, you get fewer project requests from clients, and if they have a project, typically it's an existing project that you should take over. But the times when you get a lot of requests from big projects that make 50 to 200,000 euros or dollars in revenue, they are gone and they won't come back if you still stick to the outdated way of developing software. And I know this because my agency Bright Solutions is also founded as a software development agency. We were focusing on developing websites with PHP, Drupal, WordPress, and mobile applications with React Native. However, we see a huge drop in project revenue. So the question is, what happens to the software development industry? And the answer is very clear. You need to shift from traditional software development to AI software development. And you can also consider shifting from developing software with a local team to having an offshore or nearshore team, because it's simply a big price advantage for your clients. And if you saw some of my videos already, let me show you why clients buy software development projects and why they eventually buy from your competitors, not from you. Look, clients only buy because they have a problem and they want a solution, right? Sounds very simple. And your job is to help them get on the other side. So what does it mean for software development? Well, they have an idea and they want to see at least their MVP or their complete software developed as fast as possible and with high quality and a low price. So you want to make sure that you have speed. Okay, you optimize for speed. That needs to go up. The faster that you develop the software, typically the more money you can make if you don't make the mistake that you still get paid per hours worked. Because when others use AI to develop software, it doesn't take a lot of time. And the quality is high, so you need to have a model where you get paid for a fixed price per set of requirements, per backlog, for example. That's a much better model because you can simply earn a lot more money than if you just get paid per hour. So you need to increase the speed, you need to increase quality, okay? And you need to reduce costs. So that's what you need to do in order to stand out in a very crowded and noisy marketplace and in an environment and economy where every business these days is looking to reduce their costs. So if you are still charging anywhere from 75 to 120 euros or dollars for software development for an hour, you are definitely not competitive anymore. You definitely need to change something, and what you can change in order to sell and deliver your software development services a lot easier, make higher profits without selling time for money. That's what I'm going to show you right now in this video. And why I know this? Well, we've developed a full AI-powered process at my agency Bright Solutions that turns an idea of a client through a structured interview and then generates the requirements, visualizes them, and after this, you can develop it with no-code tools, low-code tools, or with AI software development tools. Because there are tools that just take your requirements and create an MVP. And instead of like taking 90 days to develop an MVP, now it's just done in 4 to 5 hours. Right? Just imagine you have a requirements gathering interview with one of your clients. You have a very structured process to do this. Everyone can basically do it. You record this interview. And then the process I'm going to show you right now just spits out an MVP, a minimal viable product, a software that is usable with a UI, user interface, and with everything you need to show your client that you understand him or her and that you can develop software very fast. So this is also what you can do to sell your software development for a fixed price. And look, if a client pays you, let's say 5,000 euros or dollars for an MVP, and it only takes you a few hours because AI does the heavy lifting, you earn a lot more money with the same service compared to just selling your time for money. It's a much better, more scalable business model. And by the way, if you develop software with AI, it's so much easier to generate leads with paid ads or organically because it meets a high demand and the offer you can promote is so much more valuable. So you are doing something very good for your business if you develop software with AI using a very structured process, the one I'm going to show you right now in this video. And this helps you increase the profitability, become more relevant in today's economy, because you can develop software faster with high quality and lower costs. And this will also result in much higher sales closing rates, cheaper cost per lead, and you can literally streamline, systemize, and automate the lead generation and the service fulfillment process. You need a lot fewer people. You don't need to hire so many developers, and you can deliver the same or even more volume of software projects with a high quality, even if you don't have a whole team that you need to manage, hire, replace, etc. Okay, so let me show you how this process works. The first step is you have requirements. Okay, nothing new for you, but the difference is you don't have endless workshops with clients anymore where you gather requirements. You just have an agenda of a structured interview. You have a 1 to 4 hours workshop, depending on how complex the idea of your client is. And you record this workshop with, for example, Fireflies or any other AI note taker. Okay, this will also transcribe already this workshop, and based on this, you can just feed it into either ChatGPT or any other AI that turns these high-level requirements into epics, right? These are the high-level requirements in a structured way. And below the epics, you have different user stories. And all it takes is you just have this person who interviews your client, records it, and then the AI spits out the epics and the stories. Okay, so that's only the first step. Now, eventually, you want to visualize them. And once you have these requirements, you can either like put them into, okay, Jira is really old school, but you could use Jira. You could use ClickUp, Monday, or any other tool that allows you to structure requirements into high-level requirements and then detailed requirements, which are called user stories in software development. Okay, so now you have these structured requirements. The next thing is you can put them into an AI development tool. There are many out there. I don't want to promote any specific one. That's why I don't mention a specific name here. But if you simply go to ChatGPT and ask which AI software development tools exist that can take my user stories and turn them into code and a user interface so that I can show a prototype or MVP to my clients within a few hours, you will get typically 4 to 5. I think those are the dominating players in the market for AI software development. And that's it, right? You then have code generated from an interview. You don't need a developer. It integrates also with GitHub if you want. You can then deploy the code to AWS or any other cloud hosting environment. And that's everything you need, right? It integrates with all your deployment tools. It integrates with your quality assurance process, right? That you should have. And this allows you to develop software much faster with high quality and fewer costs. And if you have such an offer, it's so easy to generate leads. You can expect to get leads from anywhere from 20 to 100 euros or dollars. And if a project is like 10 to 50,000 or even 100,000 euros or dollars in revenue, this is so profitable because you don't even need to hire a lot of people to develop the software, as AI will do the heavy lifting for you. You don't even need to have the smartest business analyst because the requirement gathering is just based on an interview. You have just the agenda, the questions you are going to ask, and everyone can ask them in an interview. Like it's just a moderator, not a highly skilled software architect anymore that you need to hire to turn requirements of your clients into epics and user stories, right? And then turn it into code. That's all done by AI, right? That's the future of software development. And with such an offer, you will stand out in the marketplace. And it's so much easier to, for example, get leads from 2 to 100 euros or dollars and turn them into clients. The point I wanted to make is that when you get leads, let's be pessimistic for $100, right? And you turn let's be very pessimistic again, just 5% of these leads, if it's high quality leads, right? You need to make sure you don't just get leads, but high quality leads. 5% of those high quality leads turn into paying clients. That means you just pay 2,000 euros or dollars for a new client. And if the revenue is like north of 5K, 10K, etc., which the typical revenue of software development projects is, even with AI, your business is making a 2 to 10x ROI, right, on your ad spend, or in other words, your ROAS, return on ad spend. If you want to see how that works, by the way, below this video, I put a link that shows you how to use an MVP sales funnel, right? That's pretty much the same like an MVP product in software development, an MVP sales funnel. That's the fastest way to get 2 to 5 quality sales calls every week for your software development projects. So that's it. If you want to be more competitive and see your software development agency growing, make more revenues, increase your profits and all that without working more hours or hiring more people, then that's the way to go. It's just this simple process, right? So that will make your agency competitive and you will see growing revenues instead of stagnation, frustration, and wondering why all the others in the marketplace get it, just you are stagnating, right? It's just because you have an outdated offer and outdated business model, and AI will eat up your revenues because, well, there are so many other alternatives that take away revenue from classic software development service providers. But the big opportunity is you can do it with AI, and I strongly recommend you do it if you want to see a thriving business in the next years. So if you got some inspiration from this video, some value eventually, I would appreciate if you give me a like and subscribe. We will release one video per week showing you how you can grow your business faster, more profitably, and with less work thanks to systems, automation, and AI. I'm looking forward to the next video. Cheers and happy scaling.